I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBN, we're diving into a wonderful children's book. It's imaginative, it's inventive, and it is educational. It is called Adam and Patty the Parrot Bone Searching Adventure. It is a fun and educational children's book written by a terrific author. Her name is Dr. Pamela D Grove. And in this book, she has an engaging story that follows Adam and his clever pet parrot, Patty, as they race to name all the bones in the body in just 7 days. Perfect for young learners, this book combines science, adventure, and inspiration to spark a love for anatomy and perseverance. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her on TV today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be on today. Yes,
I-
thank you.
I'm excited to have you on the show. You've done a great job with this book. Now, you're a doctor of physical therapy, so bones and muscles and all that
Yes,
stuff is something you know very, very well.
yes, quite well.
So I guess you wanted to share it with kids in like a fun way. Is that the inspiration behind the book?
Yeah, I'm also an educator. Okay, so education is my one of my big passions. So, I started teaching online with children back in 2020, right at the time during COVID, when kids were out of school. So I was doing an online program with kids, and I came up with so many different curriculums on anatomy, uh, physiology, injury prevention, health and wellness, so many different subjects. And what I learned, Logan, was that children were sponges. They were so excited to learn. I had some kids as early as 7 years old on the classes. And the classes were supposed to be like from 9 to 12 and then from like 13 to 16. But I had mothers who wanted their kids in early and they wanted the information. They were just, just soaking it up. And so when I stopped those classes, I probably stopped those classes in early 2024 and took a sabbatical from teaching. And I said to myself, I said, I got so much pleasure out of that. Those kids really got something, they enjoyed it. I said, how can I rekindle that? You know? And God gave me the inspiration to start a children's series, a
Awesome.
children's series. And
Wonderful.
so that's my agenda. I want over the next 2 to 3 years, I want to be able to do like at least 8 to 10 books on anatomy, physiology, health, and wellness for children.
Awesome. That's great because a lot of children have a big curiosity at
Hmm.
that age, but
Hmm.
there's very little information that can be given to them on their grade level.
Exactly.
Certainly they can pick up a book of anatomy and look up the bones, but
Sure.
a kid's going to
Sure.
pick up a book this thick.
Sure.
But to pick up
Sure.
a book and learn about the bones or whatever, what are some of the other subject matters you're going to cover in your books?
Well, the next one after this one will be muscles. And
Okay.
and Adam will meet his friend Maya. She's a muscle expert.
Okay.
And they're going to do a muscle excursion. They're going to go and they're going to travel and they're going to learn about the muscles. So that's the next one. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully it'll be out but within the next few months. I'm going to also put that through Atticus as well. Yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the
wonderful.
next
Now,
one.
why did you choose in this book a parrot as Adam's companion?
You know, I don't know. I just got inspiration that what would be very well done in a forest or what could fly? I saw Adam flying. I saw him going through an adventure on a hunt. And I said, what? Yeah, a parrot. A
Hmm.
parrot could do that. A parrot be colorful. A
Yep.
parrot could be someone that could talk.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
I thought that would have been a good friend for Adam. That's how I came up with the parrot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think kids are inspired by parrots too because I
Hmm.
think they're absolutely amazed that they can
Hmm.
talk. I'm amazed that
Hmm.
they can talk. So
Hmm. Hmm.
I'd
Hmm.
imagine a kid would be too. What age group is this book best suited for?
I have put it down for ages 7 to 12, but
Hmm.
I want parents to, use their discretion because there are some kids who I have parents now telling me, can my 5 and 6 year old take this book? I said, yeah, start them
Yeah.
early. But I say from 7 to 12.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
age group. Yeah.
And it could be a 5-year-old who's fascinated by the bones in the human body
Hmm.
too, or it
Hmm.
could be a 14-year-old who wants something that's a little more at his reading level. So it depends
Yeah.
on the child, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did the illustrations in this book as well?
No, and let me talk about that because I'm excited about that. So
Okay,
I
sure.
have two people who did them. Rosa and Razzo, Rose, and she's only 13 years old. She's a new kid. She just started art. She was excited. She wanted to come on the project. And my daughter Tyra Grove, she's an artist as well as an actress. And so they collaborate with this project. And they did an awesome job. I am so pleased. I they really everything that I saw that I wanted to illustrate it, to convey the messages, they nailed it. They nailed it.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah, they
wonderful.
nailed it.
So, you and your daughter, and was it a friend, the other artist?
No, her name is Rosalind Razzo. She was as a matter of fact, she's a patient of mine, her granddaughter. And how I
Okay.
got her, I was just happening to talk to, Dina about it. And I said, yeah, I'm going to do children's books. I said, she goes, really? She goes, well, how are you going to get the drawings? I said, well, my daughter's going to be one. And she goes, well, you should talk to my granddaughter.
Wow.
I said, really? I
Yeah.
said, she goes, she's awesome. She's
All
only
right.
12, but she's going to be 13 and she's awesome. I
That's
said,
great.
I don't know. This is going to be a little tricky. But I got in touch with them and she showed me some of her drawing. I said, show me a parrot and show me how you would draw Adam and a parrot. And she did. She did.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. Oh,
Yeah.
kids today can be incredibly talented, particularly in
Mm-hmm.
this digital age. They use
Mm-hmm.
technology better than we
Mm-hmm.
do. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that's great. And also,
Yeah.
you get kind of a kid's input there as well, which is
Mm-hmm.
needed
Mm-hmm.
in writing a children's storybook. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Mm-hmm.
great. Give
Yeah.
us a
Yeah.
little bit of an overview of the story so the folks at home know a little bit about Adam and Patty and their adventure.
Okay, so you're starting off in the story with Adam and Patty introducing themselves, and
Mhm.
they want to make sure the kids are on board. So they're inviting the kids to join in. So you want the kids to participate. So that's what I love about this. They're coming in from the perspective of also adding in education is about, let's do numbers, let's do math, let's try to figure out how we're going to plan out this. So they're thinking and they're planning. 206 bones? How can we do this in 7 days? So now they got to think about math. They got to think about how can they plan this out. So that's how it starts off with them thinking, okay, I got to do this in 7 days. And then they meet all types of challenges along the way. Adam falls down. They have a windstorm. They were met by snakes. So they have all these different things that happen, and so it teaches them what friendship. It teaches them how to overcome challenges and how not to give up because it was starting to get some type of challenge coming with it on the way. So that's how the story unfolds. And each day, they're learning how to go through the forest, and then they're learning the different bones. They meet this bone, they meet those bones, and then they got to keep count because they can't run out of time.
Yeah,
So they have to keep count. And
that's
so
great.
so Patty is helping Adam with this. She's a big helper. So she's helping him with that, to make sure
That's
he stays
awesome.
on task. And so yeah, so it gets the kids learning as they go along. They're naming the bones, and the bones are hard to name. The actual
Right.
name the bones. And they're
Yep.
learning where they are on the body.
Yep.
So the pictures are depicting that as well. So I love that about the picture. And so it takes them to the end till they get to all the 206 bones. They
Right.
divide the skeleton up to the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. So the
Mhm.
kids get to see that, one part of the skeleton is only 80 bones, another part of the skeleton is 200 is 126 bones. And that gives us the 206 bones.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I didn't even know that. So
Yeah.
that's good. So I'm learning things here today. I'm learning from your book. That's great. I'm sure a lot of the parents reading
Oh,
the book don't know. I mean, we know
I have,
maybe a femur, maybe a tibia,
right.
and beyond that, if hasn't been hurt on my body, I don't know it. And you would think it'd
Yeah.
be a growing list at this point
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
femur, tibia, and that's about all I can think of.
Yeah.
But you're going to explore muscles next. What else are you thinking about exploring? I know as a child, I was always amazed by the structure of the eye, the structure of
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
ear. I
Hmm.
mean, with
Hmm.
the anvil and the
Hmm.
eardrum and all
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
stuff. So the kids are curious about this stuff. So
Yeah.
what are you envisioning beyond bones and muscles in your stories?
I'm gonna go into organs because most of my stories are going to be based on my curriculums I've already
Mhm.
got in place. So I have the organs, disease organs. They need to
Mhm.
know what happens when the organ is diseased,
Yeah.
and talk about the different systems. So I go into that. That's going to be a big book.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into injuries. How do they handle injuries? One of my big passions is I'm a chronic pain specialist as well.
Mm,
So I deal with a lot of disabilities and chronic pain management. And what I want to happen is a lot of adults haven't had the privilege of learning how to manage their pain and how to handle injuries
mm,
because no one's ever taught them. So I envision children learning this early on. So Adam will have friends along the way. Maya will have friends along the way who have injuries,
mm.
who have disabilities, and how they learn how to deal with those disabilities and injuries. So we'll keep going back and forth between injuries, illnesses, disabilities, as well as organs, disease organs, healthy, so they learn all about not just anatomy and physiology, but also health and wellness. Yeah.
That sounds great. Have you envisioned this as an animated series or a TV series for kids?
You know, I'm glad you said that because I had a teacher who read the book and she gave a good review on Amazon. She'll be happy that I'm talking about her today. But she said to me, she says, Pamela, she goes, I see this as an animation.
Mhm.
She says,
Yeah.
I really do. She says, and then I mentioned to my daughter who's also an actress, she said, Mom, I see this in animation as well. So that's two people. Now you're a third person. So
There we
in the
go.
mouth of three witnesses, right? It's
Yeah,
confirmed.
exactly, exactly. Whenever three or more are gathered in his name, right? So
There it
there
is.
we
There it
go.
is. Yeah.
Without a doubt. No, I think it'd be a terrific series as well. It'd be educational, it'd be fun.
Hmm.
Like you said, you've got colorful characters like Adam and Patty, and I think it would be great. So Hollywood, Nickelodeon, Hulu, whoever's making kids shows these
Whoever's
days,
making pictures, I'm ready.
this we are ready to go here. The doctor is ready to go
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
turn the book that we've been talking about today, Adam and Patty the Parrot, into a wonderful, wonderful children's
yeah.
series.
That sounds
And
awesome.
again, the name of the book is Adam and Patty the Parrot, Bone Searching Adventure. It is a delightful and educational journey, sure to inspire young
Yeah.
minds and will inform some old minds as well. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you as well. I appreciate your time and insight. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford for the Global Book Network. So long for now.